Hey, Dirt Farmer Jay here from dirtfarmerjay.com. If you have a dryer like this and it's making a lot of noise, or it's refusing to spin, or it's just not doing the job it should be doing, the repair is probably a lot easier than you think. I'm going to walk you through it. Stay tuned. Hey, Dirt Farmer Jay here from dirtfarmerjay.com. We've had this workhorse dryer for many, many years. This is a Whirlpool. And we just keep repairing it because it keeps running, and I'm just too cheap to buy the upright one to match the front loader washing machine that's off to my left shoulder here. But it just keeps doing the job. And not too long ago, I needed to replace the belt because it was slipping. I wasn't getting the turning action, and there was squealing and resistance of turning of the rollers, and so I was able to tear in it and do the repair. Now, I needed to get the repair done, and so I didn't do a great job of filming it. So you're going to see a lot of times I'm using a phone, one-handed, it's kind of shaky, bad video. Please forgive me, but I'm going to walk you through what we did, and the repairs have already been done, but you'll be able to clearly see how to get inside what is a relatively simple appliance, do the repairs yourself, end up with something that's going to run a lot longer and save a ton of money. Let's get to it. As a courtesy to you, both the list of the tools and the steps that it's going to take are all listed in detail in the description below, as well as the part source where you can order the parts that I used in here. Now, the tools you need are pretty simple. You're going to need a putty knife to pry open an area, a 5/16 nut driver that you're going to take apart the outside panels here to get to the interior. You're going to have a Phillips screwdriver and a little straight bladed screwdriver. I have a needle nose locking set of pliers here, perhaps to grab onto some of the clips that hold some of the rollers, that sort of thing. But generally speaking, if there's some other pickup tools that I find that I'll need, they're not going to be complex, and they're probably the kind of tools you already have in your toolbox. So, and then as I said, as I go through this, you don't have to watch this over and over again and pause. You can go to the description below, and all of the steps are there. Well, let's tear into it. Step 0, that is, before you actually even start the job, is to make sure that the dryer is unplugged. So go ahead and get that undone. Pull that off, and don't touch the blades as you're doing so. Keep your hands on the rubber, and then move that off to the side. Okay, you're going to begin by pulling the lint screen. And when you do, just set that off to the side, somewhere safe. And then the first thing you're going to notice, there's 2 Phillips screws right here. Well, the first thing I do, because we're going to be taking those out, is I'm going to put something down here. So if that pops off, I don't lose it down here, and it goes to where I don't ever want to try to get it back. So I'm just going to go ahead and plug that off with a rolled up towel like that. And then we're going to go ahead and remove these screws. Take these and set them off someplace safe where you know where they are. Now you can remove that. Now that is taken off from there. Now we're going to move to the front edge of the cabinet. There's 2 clips that are holding the top that we're just going to pry up, and then this whole top will pivot up. Here we go. They're probably about right in here, so what I'm going to do is push in. There we go. First one comes up, and pardon my space between us here. There we go. All right, now that that is there, I'm going to go ahead and scoot the dryer out just a little bit. And now I'm going to tip this back. So the next thing we need to do is disconnect the wiring that goes to the door switch, which is right here. But there is a plug connection right here that you need a straight screwdriver to pry apart the tabs and disconnect the junction. All right, the next step is you need to remove the fasteners that are holding the front of the dryer in. So right here, use a 5/16" nut driver and simply back that out. And again, keep control of your fasteners because you don't want to have those drop down in the middle of nowhere. So once I loosen them up, I'm keeping the fastener tight against the end. And then I'm going to go ahead and pull that out, holding on to it. You need to finagle it. But now I've captured it, and I'm going to put it off the side. Now, we're going to come over to the other side right there and do the other corner. And for the second side, we'll do the same thing, kind of step and repeat. We'll go ahead and 5/16 driver. And there you can see that the front has now let go. Let's go and stow these screws and then get the front off. All right, now we're going to pull this up, and as you can see, the drum is already kind of tilting forward. This is the belt that actually turns it and goes around to the motor. You need to cover a towel over and put it at the bottom edge of that. It has enamel. It can be sharp. And so we're going to just pull this up, and when we do, now you can pull that away and put it away to the side. All right, on the first part of this repair, what we're going to do is get the belt off that turns the drum and get it ready to replace. And to do so, I'm going to put my left hand under the idler and move it that direction, taking tension off of it. And my other hand is going to be used to take the pulley or to remove the belt from around the motor pulley. So here we go. We're going to go like this. I'll push that idler over. When I do, that takes off the tension off of the belt. I'm able to let the idler go. Now this belt is ready to come off of the entire drum and to be replaced. If I'm this far in it, why not put new rollers in the back? All right, I'm going to work now to get the drum out. However, if you were only replacing the belt and not the rollers in the back, you wouldn't have to take the drum out. I'm taking it out so you can see the innards of the machine and the secondary repair, but you would simply put the belt back on, retrace the path, which I'll show you on the idler arm, to get the tension correct on this and to provide drive tension to the drum. But we're going to take this here and we're going to lift it like that and move it out of the machine. And as I said, it's pretty simple in there. There's not a whole lot going on, but now we're to the innards of the machine. Okay, as I promised you, all the steps here are in the description below. And what we've actually done is jump past the replacement of the belt by taking out the drum, by coming to the back to get access to these two rollers. If you're going to do this other part, it's my opinion that you go ahead and replace these two rollers. They're probably $35 for the pair. A new idler, this one here, which that was replaced when we did it before, it's still in good condition. The black that you see it is actually the belt powder as it runs. So this is the repair's already been done. But what you would do here, and let's walk through it. The first thing you would do is use a 5/16 inch nut driver, pull off this brace right here, and rotate it off. And there's a clip right here that'll be removed. When you do, this gets you access to this. And in the original video, these would barely turn. They certainly didn't freeze spin like that. A lot of resistance, made it hard on the motor. The thing was slipping, it was running slow. So when I replaced these, it greatly enhanced the performance of the machine and lowered the noise level of the machine as well. So to get to this, after you pull that, there's some clips here. You're going to pull it off. The new clips come in. You can use a little pry bar, a needle nose, something to get behind, even a stiff putty knife. And then you just simply replace this, put this back on, and that one is done. Really simple repair. The work's not done here yet on rollers until you move to the other side. This one doesn't have a brace. This one over here does not have a brace like this. And it moves a little bit on the shaft to self-align on the indent around the drum. So same idea, you're going to pull a clip, which it comes in the package right there. There's a indent all the way around this. This whole old roller, of course this is the newer one and it spins nicely, comes off. You put the new one back in, put the new clip in, and now the rollers are done. The idler assembly is just that. It's the whole thing. It's just going to go in the groove right here, and when it comes time to assemble it, it's going to sit here and provide the tension on the belt that you need. So here you are. You've now replaced the parts you need for this repair. It's time to actually put the drum back in and start the reverse process. All right, let's go ahead and replace the drum. This is not very heavy at all. You just need to wheedle it into the cavity here. And you're going to lower the back edge over those two pulleys that you had replaced in the groove. There you go. You can feel it roll, but it's going to want to tip forward. If you have a helper that someone can hold that up, that's helpful, but not absolutely necessary. It will stay in place. So if you were only doing the belt replacement, this is where you would be after just pulling off the belt. And as you can see from this shot, the old belt that we had before we did the repair was in really bad shape. We put in the new belt. You can see in this other shot where there is a grooved side of the belt. The groove side goes towards the drum to provide needed traction, works around the pulley or on the motor to provide the right traction to get around this. So when we put this on, we're going to put it around the whole drum with the groove side facing the drum. And just slide it in, get it back, and you can see on the drum where it was before, where it needs to be. You're going to just line that up out here. And now we're going to go around the back side, get it around the idler pulley and on the motor pulley, and then provide tension to this. So now that this is ready to do work again. All right, we now have our belt here that is hanging loosely. There's not tension on it, nor is it around the pulley on the motor, but the grooves are towards the drum as it should be. Now we're going to put in the idler and put it like this. And here's the twist. You're going to take this and put it down underneath the idler like this. Let me do that again so you can see it. Scraped across the top of the idler pulley. We push it in like this and pull it through the other side. And now we're going to pull that forward until we finally have enough space to put the pulley on. And there it is. So now it's around the motor. This is providing tension. That is tight around there. And when this activates here in a little bit, it'll rotate the drum. Okay? All right, we're ready now to go ahead and put the front back on. Okay, we're going to go ahead and put that back together. I wouldn't drive it all the way home because you probably need to adjust on the drum. All right, let's go to the other corner. Now that we're able to align the other side, let's finish driving this home. Now both these corners are tight. And while we're here, let's go ahead and put back this terminal right here that is for the door switch, and it also controls the circuit for the light to come on in the interior when, and as you can see, it's pulled together. We're now solid. All right, we're going to go ahead and relower the top over, making sure that we align on these clips here and able to pop that down so that all looks good. Boom, that went down, and now it's time to put the screws back over here in the lint collector. All right, let's line these up. Let's move the second one. Okay, let's go ahead and remove that safety cloth that we had there. Put back our lint screen. Okay, we've plugged it back in. Let's fire it up and see how well we did. Let's turn it on here and let's just hit a running beautifully. Smooth, nice. Here, we'll open the door so you can see it rotate as it goes to a stop. See the light come on. Boom. We'll go ahead and let it shut. Hit it start again. Fully operational, and you did it yourself. Another great repair you can do quickly is replacing the door switch right here. Check out this video where we walk you through that one point by point. It's even easier than the repair we just showed, and we'll show you there in the description where you can get the part. Hey, until the next time, this is Dirt Farmer Jay, enjoying saving a lot of money and having a great appliance to boot.